Welcome back to the wouldv'e Tour Podcast Network with the currently unnamed Deep Space Nine recap pod. My name is Moshe Hill, and with me, as always, are my worst enemies, which I guess that's the closest thing I have to in this world to friends, Andy Schwartz and Nati Burnside. We are recapping Season 1, Episode 4 of Deep Space Nine, A Man Alone.
Voyage to Deep Space Nine, where security officer Odo must confront a notorious criminal from his past.
He went to prison for murder. I sent him there.
Now, justice becomes an issue of life and death.
You're not going to take the law into your own hands.
Watch me.
He was afraid that Odo would kill him.
Who might want to frame you for murder?
I am temporarily relieving you of duty.
Next time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
All right. I love
that music.
Love that music.
Oh, every time.
And Nati's gone. See you, Nati. So, Andy, what'd you think of the episode?
I love the episode. I thought it was a great episode. So many questions.
So many questions.
But I have so many questions. Great. It was a good episode. They thought outside the box, and it was very Odo-centric, obviously.
Yeah.
And they really create, like, they don't even give him a backstory as much. They just kind of, like, show his personality more, because, like, we can't really talk about Odo.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about Deep Space Nine is that it's basically Deadwood in space. And the whole thing is that it's a boom town in the western frontier. You know, they even mention the frontier at this part of the show, in this part of the episode, and how it's, like, growing. And so Odo is like the sheriff in town, you know, but he's the sheriff in town, but he's not used to the official, like, oh, the United States came in and actually made you like a state, you know, and so he's not used to the bureaucracy and actually going by the rules, which is great. So we got three plots. We got the A plot, B plot, and C plot in this episode. You got Ibudan, who is killed. And Odo investigates. You got Jake and Nog meet. Keiko opens a school. And then you got the C plot of Bashir being a total creep to Jadzia Dax. Bashir the creep. Nati Burnside comes in at the time talking about Bashir hitting on Dax in the cold open. So, Nati, Dax does absolutely nothing to discourage this. I don't know if he could hear me or he could talk, but I can't see him. This is terrible. Lower the volume. There we go.
Bring it down a notch.
Bring it down a notch.
There you go.
So
she definitely doesn't discourage it. If anything, she's adamantly like, this is a bad idea. You're a child.
She loves it. I think she loves it.
No.
She loves getting hit on. She loves the attention.
The question is like how much of it is the Trill versus her, and her still learning how to, like, handle the dual personality of being with, another mind in your brain,
Exactly. So we're going to get to that C plot in just a minute. We're going to go through the A plot of the episode. Starts out with Odo spotting a guy he doesn't like, immediately starts fighting with him, kicks him out. This guy's name is Ibudan, and Ibudan basically. Now I'm trying to remember like what he did, where he basically was like a trader, right? He brought like supplies, but what he did was he was the guy who gets like Poland Spring bottles in New York when there's like a hurricane in North Carolina, and then drives down with his like truck full of Poland Spring bottles and sells them for like $10 a bottle. You know?
Yeah, he's essentially just he's like a Ferengi. He doesn't care about his people. He doesn't care about the Cardassians. He just is trying to make a quick buck. They were saying how he had a lot of medical supplies and he didn't give it to the children, and the children ended up dying when he had the ability to.
Yeah,
so, like,
I straight up muted Nati, by the way.
I appreciate that. A real piece of garbage.
I think he's trying to talk.
Yeah. But he killed a Cardassian. I went to jail for it.
He did, yeah. So he killed a Cardassian, which is not that big of a deal in
Apparently not.
in a post occupation world, in a post occupation Bejor. So he starts fighting with him. Ibudan goes in, and he's basically going to. So Odo's just straight up like, I'm gonna kick this guy out, and he's done. He's off the station.
I don't get it. First he threatens him. He's like, I'm going to kick you off. And then without speaking to anybody else, he's like, you have 26 hours. Basically.
Yeah.
Nobody says to him, you can't kick him off. Or he's,
well, that's what Cisco does. But it's funny because like we're used to the idea of a starship where everybody who's on the starship is supposed to be there and has to have permission to be there. Like nobody.
I mean, your perspective before was really good about how like in a Yellowstone TV show, like how like they're kind of in like America, but they're not really in the country. Like they're not. It's like the Wild West still.
Yeah, so that's what. So I never watched all of Deadwood, but I started it. It's. I think I finished season 1.
I mean, it's a great it's a great
Yeah, the whole premise of Deadwood is that they are in this like boom town going to the west and like for the gold rush. And they want to become a state in the United States. I think they're in Montana or somewhere like that. Any Deadwood heads out there, please correct me in the comments. And so they want to become a state, and but until then, they're basically just an unincorporated territory in the United States. They don't have, and it's the Wild West. I mean, it has no rules. And so that's basically what the station is. The station is not part of the Federation. It is run by the Federation. It is controlled by the Bajorans. It's a Cardassian station. It's the Wild West. It's the new frontier. People are going in and out, and you can't. And anyone who wants to come there can be there. And so Odo is just the sheriff in these parts, and he can't kick anyone out just because he wants to. And Cisco respects Odo, but he won't let him be a dictator. So, yeah, I have a bunch of questions, though, about this, the Ibudan being stabbed in the holodeck. All right? Are you ready for this?
Okay, first of all, I have to talk about the masseuse.
That's what that's the first thing I'm going for.
Do those webbed fingers make just that massage? Like, can I buy those gloves somewhere?
So it's a holographic. It's a holographic masseuse, right? Which is obviously there to also have sex with him. Like this is it because Quark runs a brothel because we're in the Wild West. So it's like she was like kissing his back, like it was more than a massage. Obviously,
her hair was all over him.
Yeah, and it's not even. It's more than a happy ending too. It's like it's full on. So, what is this species that has these like webbed hands? Like Ibudan chose this woman.
Yeah, it don't really look it up. They're not even from like Riza or something. Like they're not like they're just like a random species.
Yeah, he didn't pick like a Bajoran woman. Like, he's Bajoran. So he picks this like random alien woman, which is very odd. It's an interesting choice.
It's also like Hollow Suite program 1 of 1, like massage one. Like this is the best massage you're gonna get.
Yeah, which is also like really weird I mean, obviously, okay, so spoiler alert for this episode, it was all planned. He actually planned to have himself killed by himself, right? Dun, dun, dun. And spoiler alert to the Prestige. Like this is basically like what happens. Like he planned to have himself killed. But like, do you think that it should be this easy to get into basically a brothel, like a room in a brothel? Like there should be better locks on the holodeck doors.
So that was one of my questions. Is like, first of all, this is the first time we see a holo suite at all. Ever.
Yes.
Where you saw the holo decks, where it's like literally like a gigantic warehouse and you can like kind of do anything. This is a very small room, 10 by 10, 15 by 15. So there's only so much you can do in there. You would also think
that is until we get to Take Me Out to the Holo Suite, where there's like 40 people in there and it's the size of a baseball stadium somehow.
Yeah, well,
we don't get that.
Well, we got 4 years of podcasts to get to before we talk about that.
The technology by then.
Yes.
What's kind of crazy is that you would also think, being that it's Quarks, like he would have a way in and out of those rooms without like being logged in, like a secret entry or something like that. Where
Yeah.
he's Quark. Like he's gonna go in there, have secret meetings. He doesn't want there to be a record. Like
Yeah, but I'm thinking like if you're gonna have a holosuite in which it's basically a brothel, you're not gonna let the doors open directly onto your happy ending massage.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want there to be like a building in which you go in and then you have like a building and then you go into the building and then there's like a room and then like, you got to get through several layers of physical security but to feel comfortable, because anytime just that big door opens up and all of a sudden everyone who's playing Dabo is watching you get a happy ending. Dabo!
Did you say that like the door is locked? Like you can't get in from the outside.
You would think so, right? But apparently people get in all the time.
They also assume later on that the holosuites are upstairs, so they're not on the Dabo floor. Like they are.
They're down a hallway from where the tables are on the second floor of Quark's. So when you see like the second floor of Quark's, like some of it is like open onto like that promenade walkway. In the other direction where it goes like deeper into the station, there's like a hallway. You actually see it at one point. There's a scene with some Klingons at one point where they really want to use a holodeck. I think it's there's an episode where they're using the holodeck for something
I think
specific.
It's one of the core episodes, I think.
Yeah, they like the Klingons really want to use the holosuite, and there's a scene in the hallway outside the holosuites.
So basically, the door's open, and then you look in the middle of your happy ending. You see Keiko and Miles O'Brien arguing over botany or something like that. Okay, so here's the question. So Ibudan gets killed. You got a bit of a nitpick. Okay, so they go back into the holosuite, and everyone's doing their little research. Why was Ibudan on the floor of the holosuite when they're looking at his body? Like, so basically,
Wasn't he on the massage table?
He was killed on the massage table. He was stabbed. But then when they go to investigate and you see like Odo and Bashir is investigating the body, he's on the floor of the holosuite, which means that somebody said computer end program and the table disappeared and the body just fell. Which means that first of all, who said computer end program? Because wouldn't that contaminate the crime scene? Because then blood would spatter everywhere. So that didn't really make sense.
No blood.
I know.
Kind of reminds me of that SNL sketch from last year about the dead body going down the water slide. I'm not saying I want to see the dead body go down the water slide. I think we should take a vote about it.
Listen, all right. There's two ways to get this body down this thing. You can take the stairs, or, which by the way, that was a Nate Bargatze. I always call him Benghazi.
Benghazi.
Yeah,
Bargatze.
Yeah. So I think that was like part of his like stand up, and then he incorporated it into a SNL sketch. So Odo does this little thing. So they mention, is this the first mention of the fact that it's a 26-hour day on Deep Space Nine?
Yes. Yeah.
Because
it's like
I think they mentioned it before this.
Well,
no, they didn't mention it, but
that also means that they have to like stick with it because they still do things in multiples of days. So if something will take 3 days, like Odo asking for records, he has to ask for records for the past 78 hours instead of the past 72 hours. So they have to like keep that math consistent. And so when they're like, all right, you have to be out of here within 52 hours. And I'm like, hold on, how many days is that? What's going on?
What's also kind of crazy is that like all planets are probably different times. How long is the star date?
Yeah, so I have no idea how star dates work.
Stardate is 1,000 units per year.
So
cool.
1,000 days in a year?
1,000, yeah. I mean, yeah, basically. It's 1,000 units a year. So like 3 units a day.
So
in Earth days.
3 units a day. So what's the points then? Like 0.2.
It's just so that there's some sort of standardized thing because of all the different planets and times and whatever.
Like if I gave you a star date, could you calculate what Earth day that is?
Sure.
And are they consistent at that?
Somewhat.
I always thought it felt
Like
very random.
They're mostly consistent.
So there's going to have to be a time during this series, not now, but like when we're going to need to know what is happening on TNG and DS9, especially around like there's some Maquis crossover. So you're going to have to write down those star dates. So that I'm going to have to take a note. I have to write down the star dates on certain TNG episodes and certain DS9 episodes.
So
Yeah, that's actually why I think if you look on Memory Alpha at the the grid where it says like the titles of the episodes, it says like the number of the episode, the title of the episode, and the star date it takes place.
So it says the first number is the century, then it's the year, then it's the subject. It's basically subject to change, but it's the day, like the section of the year, and the point is the hour in your day. And so one star date is 8.76 hours, it says. So
yeah, because it's like 3 per day. Yeah.
Right. So like that's like how you can tell like, oh, like I happen to be in this place in my star date. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting idea. It's cool that someone thought about that. Like that's like something like you just kind of take for granted.
Well, something that
like,
so I just did. I'm doing my TNG rewatch. So I always whenever I do any rewatches, I always start in the middle of a middle season. So yeah, I'm weird that way. All right, like I started in the middle of season 3 with my TNG rewatch. And
every time we have a discussion about this, it gets weirder. You're like, yeah, so I started my DS9 rewatch, middle of season 3, and then I'll just go to the end, and then I'll start again at season 1 and get to where I started to. Like, what?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
I do that with every show, by the way. I do that with every show. Because here's the thing. The beginning of shows is kind of boring, of every single show, because they have to, like, build up. It really started for me when I was doing Scrubs rewatches, because season 1 and season 2, there's a lot of really good stuff on season 1 and season 2 of Scrubs, but like it starts out slow and it doesn't get into like the JD voice is very different in the beginning of season 1. So I always started it with season 3 whenever I did a rewatch. And so I just got used to I do the same thing with like when I read Harry Potter. Like, and I grab a Harry Potter book, I just turn to a random page. I don't start with the beginning because you got to like build it up, So I just turned to a random page in the middle. And so I started the DS9 rewatch with like in like the middle of season 4, and then went to the end and then went back to the beginning. But with my TNG rewatch, I was like, I'm not even looking forward to watching season 1 and season 2. And so I'm not going to want to do it after I finished all of TNG. So when I got to the end of season 6, I said, okay, now I'm going to start season 1. And so
skipping 2 seasons is a lot. Like if you skip like half of the first season, I understand, but like it takes it,
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Yeah, I hear you.
I do my thing anyway. That's just.
I have a large question here.
Yes.
So Odo is in charge. We're at the table. There's a dead body.
Yeah.
Odo is in charge.
He's the sheriff.
I've always thought of like security as like the higher you are, like first you're like a foot soldier, then you're like a detective, then you're like you're kind of like the police officers of the spaceship, the soldiers, like that kind of thing.
Sure.
Why is Bashir searching for hair follicles and like DNA of people? Isn't that Odo's job? Or
he's CSI.
job?
Even detectives bring in CSI.
He's the medical guy, and it's a murder.
But he's a doctor. He's like looking for hair follicles and like looking for fingerprints.
Well, yeah, you're thinking that there should be like somebody like, in the.
Yeah, like shouldn't one of the security officers have like a special degree in like murders? Murder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a physics department on the station.
Well, maybe there should be.
They've never dealt with a murder before.
Okay, there's literally like. They always use the chief medical officer as the CSI, but they also do like here's the thing about all these shows, all right? Because realistically, everyone's doing way too much, right? Like the chief medical officer should not be doing all the things that they're doing. Like even like if you look at just their roles, like right now we have like specialists for every single thing. Like the person who diagnoses you is not the same person who does the surgery on you, but the chief medical officer does everything, right? And then there are episodes where like Bashir, who's the chief medical officer on Deep Space Nine, and literally does everything, is like, I'm going to spend 2 months in the Gamma Quadrant trying to figure this out. And they're like, see you later. It's like, who's the doctor on Deep Space Nine when Bashir's not there? Like, they don't even have, it's not even like he has a Nurse Ogawa.
Actually, there's another doctor who appears in a bunch of episodes.
Yeah, they have like Bajoran nurses. Do they have like another doctor?
There's another doctor.
I mean, even in this episode, when they're like dealing with like the clone and everything, like there's other people in the.
Oh,
room.
I have so many questions about the clone. Hold on, we'll get to it.
But in their room, there are other women. They're like people, like nurses.
Yes, they have like Bajoran nurses and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I still have so many questions about how Bajorans got like nursing degrees when they were under Cardassian occupation.
The question also is like, is it like a Russian nurse versus like an American nurse, like the quality of care?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
like
like
Bajoran, like you're a nurse, but are you
a nurse? Like if
really?
I'm sick and I have like a Federation nurse and a Bajoran nurse, I'm like, I'll take the Federation nurse, like a Starfleet. Can I see the person in the Starfleet uniform? And you could also like, you're wearing the Starfleet uniform, so I know that you're trained. Everyone else is like the Ukrainian, the Ukrainian nurse that came in from
Here's your doctor.
I know.
You're whatever.
Yes, I reattach limb in burnt shell of car.
I wonder if it's also like kind of the other way around though. It's like, like they come back from like some battle and like people have like battle wounds or whatever. It's like, do you want the Starfleet nurse who like went to like Starfleet medical school to get her nursing degree, or do you want like the one who was like a battlefield commissioned nurse from the occupation who's like seen too much?
Yeah, but that one's gonna be like, this guy's a goner, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. No, he's a goner. He's done.
Adios.
So here's a good question. Okay, so first of all time DS9 quote is said in this episode when Quark is defending Odo to those like jerk Bajorans, and they say, you're his worst enemy, and Quark replies, guess that's the closest thing he has in this world to a friend. Love that, because it just defines the Quark Odo relationship. They are the perfect frenemies. Love them. Yeah.
Can I also say, I feel like in the when they're like looking at the body, Odo is like, well, it has to be someone. It could have been me. Like he keeps several times in the episode, he's like telling everybody like, well, it could be me. You should treat me as a suspect. Like you never know.
Yeah, well, that's Odo. Like Odo, I guess, is like honest to a fault. He's just like the only, but he also, I think he saw that his name was in Ibudan's log, and so he's like, oh, he's clearly setting me up to have murdered him.
Yeah, but you don't
like
know
I'm
that.
being framed, or not he's doing it, but I'm being framed.
Right, you would think though, like if there was no evidence, everyone would just assume Odo and he'd just go to jail. Like he's not really like helping his case there.
No, he definitely doesn't help himself. He also doesn't help himself when he's
talking about the ridiculous, like the whole concept that like, well, here's the thing, guys. I mean, they locked the door, and then the only time that the door was opened after that was so that the killer could exit. And so obviously it had to be a changeling who came in stealthily without having to open the door on the way in, but then forgot about that on the way out. You're like, what? You're like, now that I've gotten in sneakily and killed the guy, I'll just walk out the door. You're like, what?
Well, I feel like
doesn't make any sense.
Well, I feel like that's like the first line of defense if he actually had to go to court to trial. You know what I'm saying? But in the middle of an investigation, it's like, all right, like take a side, you know? But here's the
just as soon as they said it in the episode, I was like, what do you do?
What?
He snuck in and then the opposite of that on the way out?
But he says in front of like Dax and Bashir, and then he's like, I didn't convince them. I have to convince the captain. I'm probably guilty somehow.
Yeah, I know. So here's also the weird thing. So all those Bajorans who are convinced that it's Odo, they're in ops saying that Odo is there. Can anyone just go into ops How does Ops have like no security?
Yeah.
Like there's an elevator. Like there's no like little fire key on that elevator. I can't go to the second floor of my own building without
There's
a
no
key.
door on the elevator, let alone like.
Yeah, but you can't just go into Ops. Like you need to have like some kind of access, right?
You think so?
You would think so, but the Bajorans are on there and they're like,
Yeah.
how do they get there? It's not the last time too. Like people just show up in Ops. Like you can't just let anyone up there.
Well, if they're Bajoran, they're probably okay, right? There's no bad Bajorans.
No.
Okay, first of all, that is not the biggest physical problem in this episode. The biggest physical problem in this episode is when they like storm Odo's office and somebody like throws a brick in Odo's office.
Oh, I have that written down.
And it like shatters the
window.
Hold on.
It's a security office.
I'm
The
not there
glass
yet.
is made of like moving candy.
Hold on.
I haven't even.
What?
I'm not there yet. Okay, I have that written down.
Force fields or something, or at least be like, made of like transparent aluminum. It's actual glass.
Hold on. Before
What are
we
you
get there,
doing?
you don't even get the worst part about that, okay?
First of all, lower the volume.
Nati, you gotta lower your volume a little bit. But Nati, you didn't even get to that worst part because before they show up outside of his office, he goes into his office and it's trashed, which means they got into his office, and not only did they get into his office and they trashed it, they graffitied the word shifter on the wall in English. Why are the Bajorans graffitiing in English?
It also, by the way,
Did the universal translator translate the graffiti from one language to another?
I love how also like it's like it's like laser engraved, not like graffiti.
Like I will never get like literally. I'm looking at my phone because I'm watching all these episodes on my phone, which by the way obviously doesn't do them justice. But I'm like looking at it, I'm staring at it, and I'm like, is that written in English? Shifter? Like that makes no sense.
Can I also just say, like, we don't explain the rules of security on the ship enough in this episode. Like Cisco's treating it like an Enterprise ship where it's like, oh, we could just let anybody on. It's like, no, you don't have to let people on DS9. We don't.
Well,
have
they
to let
kind
the
of
Duras
do.
Sisters. Why?
Because it's an
No,
open
that's
port.
true. They actually kind of do.
It's an open port.
It is like kind of an
Everybody
open
out?
port kind of situation.
Yeah, they literally.
I mean, technically, it is run by the Bajoran government. So if the Bajoran government had like a warrant out for your arrest, or you were like banished from Bajoran space, theoretically, you wouldn't be able to land on the station. But otherwise, it's just an open space station. It's like any of these episodes. There's really not a lot of them in like. There's some in the Next Generation stuff like that, and you see some in Voyager too, where they like stop at like random space stations, and like they're kind of dangerous because like there's kind of like whoever there.
What's
the Duras sisters on, and like now like a known like killer.
I mean, it's not the last time they let a lot of really bad people on the station. Like, literally, Quark uses that station as a smuggling outpost for like half the quadrant.
Damn straight.
I love that interaction between Quark and Odo.
Love it.
Where he's like without you, you would have been caught. No, you've made me so much better. Like as like a thief.
I know, like Quark is literally just like, oh baby, you're relieved from duty. I'm gonna get every con man in the sector. Like in this station, it's gonna be amazing when you're gone. But Odo doesn't have his like deep throaty voice yet, so he doesn't go like, oh, I'm gonna keep an eye on you, Quark.
What's a and that line right afterwards is like, hey, are you looking for a shapeshifter in your
organization? I know. Do you think Odo is serious, by the way?
I think he is.
I think he was a little serious.
Something, you know.
I think there was a part of him that just like, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll work for it. Why not, So here's, I gotta say, so they have Odo arrives at Quark's, by the way, and all the Bajorans get up and leave. And I was very disappointed. Morn left. I'm like, tough look for my guy Morn.
This is like before they've settled into the fact that Morn just is always sitting there.
Like Morn is a beloved character.
Yeah, like later on, if they did this episode in like the third season, Morn would have just sat there because that's Morn. Like he doesn't get up for anything.
Yeah.
You know, but like because it's like the first, it's
I
the
know
fourth
they haven't
episode,
really settled on Morn yet.
Yeah, but I agree. I saw that too, and he's standing in the crowd also.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, so we do.
I think you guys have ignored the biggest point about that scene, which is, if you think about it, right? Odo hangs out in Quarks a lot, but he hangs out in Quarks because he's doing his job as security chief, like keeping tabs on Quark. He's currently been relieved of duty, and he doesn't eat or drink. So what the hell is he doing in Quarks?
Dude's lonely, man.
Yeah, where else is he gonna go?
He's got nowhere to go. Where he's,
He's
by the way,
to be there.
at this point in the series, he doesn't even have quarters yet. He literally just regenerates in his bucket in the back of his office.
In the back of his office.
So like, he literally has nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you think
Maybe he should stay there and watch out for the graffiti guys.
Maybe
We didn't explain the crazy technology of the bubbling dark blue water.
Okay, we got to get into this cloning tub.
I love that.
All right.
Just a random floating tub that gets bigger and bigger as we go.
So, first of all, they just have one of these lying around. Like, sickbay just has, like, a little tub of blue water that you could use to, like...
all shapes and sizes. It, like, it's like this big, this big, this big. Like...
It's like that Dr. Seuss book where the fish that gets bigger and bigger and they're just moving it from thing to thing.
It's so true.
I do not understand like how like Bashir basically creates this life.
Yes.
Like he just creates another clone. I mean, I guess at some point you can't kill it because that's like an abortion.
What's kind of crazy is the fact that like they're talking about how this is such a complex Bajoran thing, and he's just like, oh, let me like do this and put it in a bathwater and like it'll grow.
Yeah, it was really easy cloning that guy.
Yes,
like maybe too easy.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Like, how is this such an easy thing to do? How is this, if this is such an easy thing to do, how has this not been done before? Like, how is this not like a question?
So are the genetic sequence that Bashir put into that, is that like a special cloning thing? Like, or if I just like, took a little bit of blood and threw it into that blue bathwater, another me would pop out in like 4 days.
What did they think was going to happen? Also, they found DNA. Like they were going to create something.
Well, they didn't know what it was. Like it was like gonna.
But it could have been a dog. It could have been like a different person, but it was DNA. You're going to create a life of some sort.
Yeah,
so
like was it like a weird cloning tub, or was it just like a DNA growth tub? Like I don't get it. I did not understand what the science was behind that.
There was no plan.
No, Bashir did not have a plan. Yeah.
But she was like, I'm frontier medicine. I can do what I want.
Also, that thing didn't have a cover. So, like, anything that, like a spider drops into that thing, and all of a sudden, Ibudan has, like, 8 legs. It's like, what are you doing there?
It's also, what's also kind of crazy is that, like, I mean, this is the end of the episode, but they're just like, and now he's living a new life on Bajor.
I know.
Like, he's just on Bajor now as, like, a second Ibudan. Like,
I know. He has a second Ibudan. So, I want to get a question, because Nati mentioned the shattered glass, the shattering glass. Where did they get the rock from? It's a space station. Like, is it built with bricks? Like, what is going on here?
I mean, I guess maybe it wasn't a rock, though. We don't really know what it was, I guess, right?
It was like a brick? What was it?
Don't know. Could be
Can I just say, 30 seconds after that, they shoot a phaser into the sky. Like, you're just shooting phasers on a...
By the way, yeah, it's a space station. You hit a hole in the hull.
A rock can break a piece of glass. The phaser's going to make a hole, even if it's unstunned.
Like Cisco shoots a hole in the sky, and all of a sudden everyone gets sucked out into space.
This is not a...
Through a hole the size of a...
plan.
And it's not the first time he's done that, by the way. He likes doing that, yeah. There has to be like a phaser setting, which is like a shoot safely in the air setting.
Yeah, it really does. It's like Strike You Back is like a Westwood kind of thing where it's like the sheriff who's like going to keep the peace by like people get out of control and just firing a gun into the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's also kind of crazy where like he's actually like give everybody a phaser. Like
Yeah, pass out the phasers.
Let's
Well,
not
Odo's
make
not in
this
charge
seem,
anymore.
like,
Odo
more
doesn't. Odo doesn't let phasers on the promenade.
let's not make right, but it's like let's not make this even more like complicated. Let's not bring weapons into the like,
No.
Can I also just say that if Odo is like suspected, they let him lead the investigation for far too long. He's running the investigation until like basically the end. Like
He like literally is just right there, and Cisco's like, I don't think you did this, and Odo's like, why wouldn't you think I did this? And it's like, dude, calm down. You don't know me. I could have done this.
And it's also the best is like when they're standing in the promenade and Bashir in front of everybody is like, I know who killed him.
I know. I got new evidence.
It's like the murderer is somewhere there.
I know, and
He's
the
definitely
entire mob is just like, all right,
Well,
we'll go.
all right, let's find out. Let's go back to
Let's
drinking.
get out of here.
Dabo.
Davo! I know. I was in the middle of my drink at Quarks, and I got to finish up. Yeah. Oh, the bubbles are out of this fizzy drink I have. This sucks. Shouldn't have taken a break and tried to kill somebody.
It is kind of crazy.
I know. Okay, so basically they figure it out, and then Odo goes back to Ibudan's room, and for some reason becomes a chair. Why did he become a chair? He could have just been standing there. Like, it's not like he surprised the guy.
What's amazing was if he took over for a chair that was existing, where did the chair like? Why would you move a giant chair? Like, be like behind the chair. You could be anything. You could be anything.
Or wait until the guy sits in the chair and then like wrap him like gotcha.
Right. I thought that's what was gonna happen. Honestly,
half these things like don't really like make any sense here because you're just like, oh, like he doesn't know you're going to be there. Like you could just be like standing there, or if you were going to like conceal yourself, like do a better job, like be a pen.
I know.
Like why are you a chair?
But like, why did he need to conceal himself at all? Like he wasn't like
he doesn't need to.
He wasn't like listening to something going on.
Run.
Yeah,
the guy's going to run. He's not armed. Like what?
This is also
like it would have made sense if the guy took off the mask, because like he pulls off the mask like it's Mission Impossible, right?
No, it's like Scooby Doo. It's like who's under this mask? Like,
and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling shapeshifter.
I was thinking Scooby because he like rips it off like
I was thinking Mission Impossible, but Scooby Doo's even better.
By the way, we know that you can change people's physical faces. Why would he think it's a mask? You can use like if he's technologically advanced enough to clone a person,
yeah,
you think he'd at least have the ability to like physically change his features. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. Like that's like a cheap rubber mask that you're using.
Yeah.
When you just cloned yourself twice.
Yeah.
I know. You should have a little bit.
Face.
By the way, I do love the end. The end. I love the end when Cisco does his like captain's log, and he's like, there were no apologies to Odo. Like from my understanding, like no one apologized to Odo. I'm like, that checks out. Like I've seen mobs form. Like no one cares.
So there's no apology, Bob.
Yeah, there's never an apology, Bob.
There's no apology, Bob.
So I have a real question.
We're sorry.
People outside beating on the door. We demand you accept our apology.
Reparations. Okay.
Please accept this gift basket.
Yeah.
Where in our stage of the Federation taking over DS9 are we? Because there's no cameras anywhere. There's no DNA scanners. There's
cameras
nothing.
do
There's
not
no
exist
security.
in this. Cameras do not
no
exist in this
security.
universe. By the way,
Like even like generic like on the promenade cameras, like to look into Odo's office, like just see who went into my office.
I know.
Like, nothing.
there is absolutely no security.
Oh, sorry, do we just because we skipped past it when Odo arrests Ibudan and says like killing your own clone is still a crime?
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing that happened.
Yeah.
It's an episode of Next Generation in season 2 called Up the Long Ladder, where this society like who can only survive really by like they need new DNA, so they kind of like kidnap people and they they make clone them, and so then like Riker and Pulaski like they figure out what's happening, because they're cloned a bunch of people from the Enterprise so that they can like expand their society, and then Riker and Pulaski they all kill their own clones. So just to be clear, you can kill your own clone, I think, but whatever.
I think Tuvix has something to say about this also about.
Maybe Odo follows a different set of rules.
Yeah, like Riker straight up like finds his clone and like shoots him with a phaser, like just in the pod.
Spoiler alert! I'm only in the middle of season.
I guess.
Which is kind of crazy because they're just like let him go. Like one line at the end of the episode is like, where it's like, yeah, and now Ibudan's leaving on Bajor.
I know.
Ibudan. It's like,
clear. Is killing your own clone still murder? Like, isn't the crime here that he tried to frame someone for murder?
Yeah, that's definitely the bigger
is the clone
crime.
sentient? Is the clone a sentient being?
well,
He hasn't had like time to like develop his brain.
but he still has.
He's supposedly just growing a clone of him at a certain age to use as a physical body. So is the clone even like really sentient? Like what? How much harm did you really do by killing the clone?
Well, the clone is sentient enough to go to Quark's, order a holosuite program, a sex holosuite program, and go and try and get a sex massage. So that's sentient enough for me.
How do you know that's not Ibu who does that? No, but I think that's Ibudan who does that.
Oh, and he just puts the clone in there?
But that doesn't make sense then for the end
Well,
of the
he is,
episode to say.
but he's appreciating
like
the massage, though. You see the clone appreciating the massage. Wait, hold on. We see Ibudan in Quarks. At what point do we only see the clone just being massaged?
I think so. The clone,
So
because
that
you have to.
first
The clone is
interaction
still. The clone's a person. It would still have to like have learned all the things necessary to like be a person. There's no time for that to have occurred.
Well, apparently
So like
the clone
is just
in
a
the
body.
in Bashir's jacuzzi is just like going
gonna
living
say-
off on Bazor.
I was gonna say, what is Bashir doing? If you could stop them from being sentient, like Bashir's like, nah, let's not do it. Let him be a human being. Come on. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that like once they're like activated, they have like all the memories or something. I don't know.
I mean, it's different than growing like a limb. Like if you need to like grow a limb and then use it, is very different than growing an entire body with a brain and everything. Like that's I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so
Act 2.
So we're going to the B plot here, which is Jake and Nog starting to become friends and Keiko opening up a school, which starts with Chief and Keiko fighting in Quarks, which, by the way, why are they having their fight in Quarks? You know, they have quarters. I guess they don't want to fight in front of Molly. So
Fight in front of the rest of the ship.
yeah, there's they just preferred that. Also, you do not have private conversations at Quarks. Look at the size of that guy's ears.
I was gonna say
He hears everything. Like, and it's
Yeah,
not
that
like they
guy-
hide it, but
they-
but they do wonder. Like, he basically says, like, "Oh, we don't need a botanist. Like, they don't need a botanist on DS9. Why don't they need a botanist on DS9? Like, why does the Enterprise need a
It's a
botanist,
really
but DS9 doesn't?
Question, because like on. I guess the Enterprise is like flying around to like all sorts of like you can encounter anything. So like I guess you need everything on the Enterprise, which is why you have like 1,000 people there. But like, I mean, the same thing happens with like take like the original episode, like in the original series when they they have the episode with Khan, right? And when they come across the SS Botany Bay, and they're like, oh, we're gonna be over there, like, and then they're like, oh, get one of the ship historians who's like familiar with that period of time, because like there's hundreds of people, like someone's like the expert on whatever, like it's their turn, you're up, like.
But it's always the same three people going on away missions.
Yeah.
Right.
But
get Marla McIvers down here so she can be persuaded to, eventually go live with Khan and be a weirdo. But
by the way,
yeah,
even in the episode, Quark is like listening in on these people's conversation about Odo, like earlier on, and he like just pokes in and says like he's my best friend, whatever. But like he's clearly eavesdropping. Like that's clearly a part of like being in Quark.
Also, Quark in this early scene, when they're listening to the O'Briens and Odo's saying like, I've never understood the human reason or the humanoid reason for coupling. And Quark's like, you a virgin, bro? Like, what's going on here? Like, you've never coupled?
The weirdest one is Odo, who is like so profoundly like logical. Like Odo saying that, but then having no experience having done it doesn't really make any sense. It's like, hey, like I don't see the point of that. It's like, well, have you ever tried? He's like, no. Like, well, then.
Well, he does describe relationships pretty well.
It's just.
He does describe relationships pretty well. He's like, so you compromise and do what she wants, and it's like, yeah, all right. The guy knows what he's talking about.
He's clearly thought about this.
Yes, he has. So Jake and Nog meet, and they change the pronunciation from human from the early episodes to human, which I much prefer. I much prefer Ferengi when they call them humans than humans. That's
so much better.
Yeah. So Jake and Nog play that prank, and I don't understand why everyone's just standing around watching these two people get tortured for like 10 seconds. Like they even like go to different people. Like, and they're all just like looking like, that's weird. Even the Bajoran guard is like standing behind them. No one's calling for medical help. Like they don't know it's going to stop in 10 seconds.
Also,
it's good shtick, by the way.
That was good shtick. Like, no, solid prank, by the way. Doesn't do any long-term damage. It's pretty funny. You're standing, you're standing on the side. I would prefer you do it to somebody who you know, and not like randos. Like why don't you make Bashir change some colors? That would be pretty funny. Do it to Bashir and Garrick. Why are you picking on this?
So much better.
Why are you picking on these this couple in the Replimat?
Yeah. What's interesting is that they haven't spoken before this. Like, you have to assume it's been weeks, at least, maybe months since like they took over.
Yeah, they're pretty much
have really been coming over. It's pretty settled.
Well, I'm pretty sure Nog's been in like jail for a while.
Yeah, they don't talk about that.
Yeah, Nog like just goes to jail for sometimes. And I do not understand how many people live on the space station like permanently.
You have to assume as many as they want. It's like
But it's only a few hundred, right? It's not that many.
So I believe they say at one point, I'm trying to remember, there's it's in the episode where with Ezri and the rifle, that whole episode, there's a thing where they say something
Great episode.
Terrible episode. Awful episode.
I know.
I hope I quit this podcast by the time that episode shows up. Much like most of season 7. But like that I think they say in that episode that there's like 250 Starfleet officers posted to Deep Space Nine, which is like, is that more at that point because of the Dominion War? Maybe.
Probably.
But that's also like just Starfleet officers. That's not including like all the Bajorans who like run the shops and whatever and live there.
Wikipedia says 300 families.
Yeah, so I do not understand why there isn't a school at this point. Like they didn't really think about this. Like why is Keiko the first person to think about this?
Also, all the Bajorans. There's a lot of Bajorans you would think they go to school. Like
I mean, are they commuting to Bajor? Like it's only a 3-hour trip, so. Maybe it's like you're on Bajor at school during the week, and then you come back on the weekends. Like, is that kind of thing?
Could be.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Also, like, aren't they just? There's a whole question, by the way, about how schooling even works at this point in time, because there's like the assumption that like there's all these programs that will teach you everything you need to know that are like school.
Yeah.
Between like programs on a pad and also like holodeck programs. So like, do most kids even go to school? Like, let's say, for instance, there's lots of people in the Federation who are on science vessels like Voyager, which are like much smaller ships. Those ships have like 7 kids on them. Those kids don't go to school. Like, they obviously have like programs that teach them stuff.
Yeah, like everyone who is on is pretty much homeschooled. And even like the programs, it's just like okay, like you're learning about Bejor, you know, like we're here.
Maybe there was a school on the Enterprise because that's a Galaxy class starship with 1,000 crew members. But like,
it's this.
but like, there's no school on Voyager or on
200 people that live on
class
the actual
vessels.
DS9.
Yeah.
So like, you gotta assume.
But I do love
they're
I do
all
love the
uncool.
scene when Keiko goes to talk to Cisco, and he's like, "What? Great idea. What do you need?" And she's like, "Room." And he's like, "Sure." And she's like, "Computers. All right." Like, I think she's just used to like
a teacher.
Yeah, no. I think she's literally just used to like being on a starship and being like an official like botanist, and so she needs like use of the deflector array for whatever. It's like, no, you got to wait like 2 weeks because we got these other like there's a lot of bureaucracy on like the Enterprise, and in like Deep Space Nine, Cisco's just like, you got it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like I don't care.
If you can find it, you can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like it's weird because she clearly doesn't have any like experience teaching.
Well,
But,
she
like,
said she wanted to do
obviously-
it.
I've always
But
wanted.
the thing is, obviously, at this point in time, teaching is like not totally a thing. That like, because so many of these kids like learn off of programs in the first place that it's like, hey, I want to be a teacher. They're like, cool. Do you know how to hit the on button on these programs? Like what are
like-
the qualifications here?
It's like the
Did
teacher
you
that
go to
just turns
school
on a
as
video.
teacher? It would actually be really funny if they're like, cool, what qualification do you have to being a teacher? And Keiko's like,
I'm Asian.
and she's like, did you go to school with a teacher when you were growing up? And Keiko's like, no,
Yeah.
no, I also learned off a pad. Like, okay, but you've heard of teaching? Yes, heard of it, definitely heard of it. Like,
I've thought of it.
what are the qualifications here?
I mean, she had to go to Starfleet if she's a botanist. You'd assume she's like,
I mean, she didn't go to,
Trained.
but she didn't go to the
That's the same thing
academy.
as teaching children. She has a botany degree. That's like some sort of like college degree from one of these like science academies. That's not teaching 7-year-olds.
but she always wanted to do it.
But she wanted to do it, and enthusiasm is the most important thing. So she's going to talk to Rom.
Yeah.
By the way, okay, so this is the third Ferengi character because we're meeting Rom for the first time. By the way,
Right.
Rom, completely different character at this point.
Totally different.
He's
Totally different.
He's not
Not
Rom
the
yet.
same Rom.
Okay,
No.
but this is the third. So Max Grodenchik, who plays Rom, this is the third Ferengi character that he has played in Star Trek. He played Sovak in season 3, episode 19 of TNG, Captain's Holiday, where we meet another character that's going to come and show up on DS9 pretty soon. By the way, the venerable Vash, and he played Par Lenore in season 5, 21. Episode 21, The Perfect Mate, with Famke Janssen of Rounders and X-Men fame. So this is it. They're like, we love this guy as a Ferengi, let's bring him back. And he plays the same character every single time, but just different names.
yeah, I mean, basically,
It's the same
he's pretty
makeup.
good at-
Like, they didn't change his like makeup. So when I'm literally watching Captain's Holiday, I was watching it and I was like, why is Rom there? Like, that's Rom. What's Rom doing there? He doesn't sound like Rom. He just is. So then he goes, so what's it called? O'Brien gets Keiko a school bell, but he says that it's replicated. Now, does it mean a little less when you get a gift when it's just like it's replicated? You know, like anyone could replicate something.
Can I just say I had a really big issue with this also,
Yeah.
with the fact that like they don't have like speakers or like bells or like anything to like project. She has to have a bell like come to school lunchtime.
Well, I think it was
You know,
just like a nod to the 1840s, which, by the way, you're in the 24th century. How do you even know that this is what school teachers did?
Yeah.
Like, nobody today would
Fair.
know that school teachers used to ring a bell.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I guess he like looked it up. He's like,
It's kind of weird. It was a weird gift, and she was so happy for it. And I'm like,
yeah, computer.
could've gotten-
What's a good gift for a teacher?
replicate it.
Yeah.
A bell. All right,
Yeah.
replicate it. And then she's like, what the hell is this? What does that have to do with anything?
Nowadays, we would just like chalk it up to he asked AI, like, what would be a good gift for a teacher? And AI would be like, teachers used to use bells, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, a bell? Sounds cool.
Can we also just say, so she gets 12 kids, or there are 12 kids on the ship from the ages of 8 to 16. That is a tremendous age gap.
Yes.
Like, this doesn't...
I know.
Is this like a part-time school? Like, and they're just
okay, so I think that it's literally just going to be, like, it's not actually like school. Like, they're not going there to really like get an education as much as they are going there to kill time. Like, it's just structure. Like, they're just learning about Bajor and whatever.
It's kind of like those like homeschool groups that they have now, where it's like. These kids are like going to school, like they're getting all their assignments on computers anyway. So it's all like just like sociability about like them being around other kids.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean,
like, that's all it is.
It's like an after school program. It really like that's really what it is. It's not so much like we're teaching you how to read and write and do math and whatever. Like, that's all covered. This is just extra stuff, like more structure and curriculum and some so kids don't just wander around.
She's very convincing for Rom. Like, her arguments, very convincing.
Well, I mean, she is a female, and Rom's not used to talking to a female, especially one with clothes.
The fact that he lets her go, like,
I think Rom just doesn't know what to do with Nog. By the way, like, that's also like that's a big part of it.
Jail.
I know.
I'll take school.
They do talk about how like Rom, because he's like a single father, and that's not really a thing in their society in any way. That like, that's like he doesn't have any idea how to raise this kid, like, at all.
Yeah. So call ends in 2 minutes. Let's just really run through quickly. Cisco and Dax are restarting their friendship relationship. We're in the early goings. Bashir's a total creep, but. So Odo sees Cisco and Dax and thinks that they're into each other. Quark says no, they're not into each other. But little does he know, Cisco and Dax do have sex, but in the mirror universe. Can't wait to talk about that one.
Can I say Trills are definitely should be bisexual? The fact that like their host bodies are men and women, like,
yeah,
that would make the most sense.
Well, they get to that episode later.
They kind of are. We see like numerous examples of Trills being bisexual.
Yeah.
Like, other than them being friends, there is no reason why like Cisco and her couldn't have some sort of relationship.
All right, so this call is gonna crash in under a minute, guys. It was really great seeing you. Another great episode down. Next week we have Babel, season 1, episode 5, which is more of like a classic Trek kind of episode. Looking forward to it. All right, wait a second. Ways Away tour. We got to work on this. Peace out.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure.
All right, to the bull.